This is the pristine Mahatma Gandhi Marine National Park, a group of 15 islands in the Andamans. The isolation of these islands has made the marine life one of the most diverse in the world. These deep waters hold many secrets.
And when you go under, there may be strange creatures you've never seen before.
The first time we saw the strange sight of Muhammad Hussain, he was deeply engrossed in his work. I have traveled through forests all my life, making wildlife films. I have seen for myself the incredible role the frontline staff plays in protecting our forests and wildlife. On my journey this time, I am joined by a young nature filmmaker who's filmed in different parts of the world and is now following her quest to find out just who defends the Indian forests. In our adventures, from the deep oceans to the forests in the sky, we will take you through stunning landscapes, observe rare animal behavior, and celebrate the way our frontline heroes safeguard India's wild frontiers. This time, I, Krishnendu and Ashvika go visit the Andamans and experience how this fragile ecosystem fights for survival. Foresters like Muhammad Hussain, who has worked here for the last 6 years, are at the forefront of this constant battle. He gave up a flourishing career as a mechanical engineer, as he proudly says.
I feel very lucky और मुझे पैसा मिल रहा है इस चीज़ के लिए कि मैं यहाँ पे बैठ रहा हूँ टर्टल मॉनिटरिंग के लिए और ऐसे ब्यूटीफुल सनसेट और ये सब देखने को मिलता है व्हाट्सएप पे मेरा प्रोफाइल पे वो डालता है माय जॉब इज़ बेटर देन योर वेकेशन
The key to a frontline staffer's work here is versatility. There is protection and monitoring work to be done, both in the marine and the terrestrial worlds. He has to fight the poachers while monitoring the turtles and the corals. A week with him opened us to his tough but exciting world. Hussain is a master diver, and he took us to his diving center. He set up the very first center in any Indian marine reserve. Diving is like taking a jeep ride through a terrestrial forest. And to drive safe, learning the codes and the traffic signals is important.
easy looking we clip it here
Okay, so under this.
under this is the sign for how much air how much air
Yeah.
then if it is 100 baht this is a sign for 100 baht 100 baht
Okay, yeah.
and for some underwater this is for sea anemone this is a sign sweet lips it's a sign for sweet lip
Hussain introduced us to his world, a spectacular one that he helps protect. The clownfish amongst the anemone. The giant clam. The sweet lips The angel, the banner, the fusilia. It's a riot of shapes and colors out there. The funny thing about encountering life underwater is the confusion on what is inanimate and what is living. What you thought was a stone suddenly turns out to be a scorpion fish. And what you approach as a plant turns out to be a Christmas worm. And then there is the cuttlefish with its magician's wand. The diversity of marine life comes from the beautiful ancient corals. Vardhan is a marine biologist who's been working on coral health for many years. Hussain often assists him when diving, helping him with transacts and monitoring of corals and fish populations.
People like Hussain are sort of heroes of this park. They are passionate, they are interested in what they do and are responsible. Almost 430 species have been recorded from the islands. There are almost 800 species, so half of the corals are found here. It's situated very
Vardhan went on to explain that coral reefs are among the most varied and complex ecosystems on the planet. They're highly productive, providing food and shelter for most of the fish species found in the shallow tropical coastal waters. In the coral's limestone shell lives an animal called a polyp. Within the polyp is a kind of algae which gives it its color and provides food. But corals are very sensitive to temperature changes. A change in water temperature of even a couple of degrees can expel the algae, turning the coral white, which may eventually die. This is called bleaching. In 2016, El Nino raised the water temperatures by 2 degrees, and 55% of the corals were bleached in the Andamans. Climate change is a serious threat to corals, and a world without corals will affect us all.
People who are sitting in Delhi, Bombay, in Calcutta, in metros, even they will be impacted. And of course, coral reefs, they are the largest carbon sink. So the importance is huge, and it's just not for biodiversity loss, but it's also because of our day-to-day life.
By now, nearly half of the world's corals are dead. Mangrove forests comprise 10% of Andaman's tree cover. These rich and luxuriant forests shelter one of the largest and most feared of all creatures, the salty or the saltwater crocodile. Hussain took us out one day to check out the mangroves. He shared some of his family stories with us.
मेरे बेबीज दोनों मेरे साइड है. छोटी वाली तो 2 साल की, अभी भी घर जाते हैं तो पप्पा ऑक्टोपस देखा, क्रोकोडाइल मिला है. बड़ी वाली तो मैरिन बायोलॉजिस्ट बनना चाहती है. और बिकॉज टाइगर एंड ऑल दिस, a lot of awareness are there, but for that's reef ecosystem, the corals and those are very few. It's very countable, hand count people only in this side. So I need lot people. If my daughter on the side, I'm very proud father.
Forests like these are home to hundreds of species, many of them endemic, and some not safe from poaching. We went along with Hussain and the ranger one day on their regular patrol to find traps.
हाँ, ये ताज़ा है, ताज़ा है.
What is it? What's going on?
As a fresh footprints, because this island is nobody and only we people are came here. अभी ऐसे लग रहा है कि कल रात को हम ऐसे कुछ नोटेरियस लोगों को ऐसे बहुत क्लोज टू फिशर एज ए फिशरमैन बहुत पास देखा था.
Locals surreptitiously lay out crude traps to catch deer and wild boar.
मिला करना भैया.
बस ये लाइन से आएगा, ऐसी दबाई जाते हैं, इसी
हाथ फंस जाएगा इनका. तो जैसे स्ट्रगल करेगा वो सारी चीज़ें ऐसे हाथ ऐसे
जितना स्ट्रगल करेगा
उतना फंसते जाएगा. Sometimes it's a larger area, na. Sometimes we miss any trap we miss. This is the result.
On our way out of the island, we suddenly came across an eerie, apocalyptic place. This was where the tsunami had struck in 2004. That's what makes these marine ecosystems so vulnerable. They were created over millions of years, and yet anything can destroy them in a flash. And that's not all. Due to the strong seismic tremors, the Andaman Islands were uplifted at the northern end. A side effect was that much of the habitat of the saltwater crocodiles dried up, and many migrated towards the south. With this sudden spurt in population, the conflict with humans increased in these parts, here where the Marine National Park is. Manjeet Singh is Hussein's colleague at the Forest Department and handles croc conflicts with humans.
The crocodile has taken one boy in the middle Andaman, and there is a very good prey attempt करके करता है आपको. Comes, आएगा, देखेगा, बैठेगा and take its prey and go off.
The multifaceted skills of the frontline staff here was soon on demonstration.
Madam, एक call sighted है. We have to move now.
Manjeet got a call that one saltwater croc had been captured in a cage, especially put up in a human-croc conflict area, and he invited us to witness the action.
It's a carnivorous animal. अगर हम लोगों ने छोटी सी भी गलती करी, तो he can attack us also. हम लोग को भी बचना है, and we save the animal.
The croc was stuck to an island where Manjeet and his men secured it for transport for a safe relocation.
I'm holding the
Checking the breathing patterns is one way to ensure that a captured croc is doing fine.
हम लोग ये जिनके एनिमल भी ना मरे और पीपल्स कैन स्टे आल्सो. दैट्स द रीजन. हम लोग को दोनों बीच का देखना पड़ता रास्ता.
And now it was ready to be moved.
Capturing part is a little bit फिर भी ठीक है. Releasing of the animal is one of the very difficult part.
Really?
It's very difficult. Animal को जैसे release कर दोगे, anytime he can move and he can hurt you.
Will you please do me a favor?
Yeah.
When you're releasing it, will you take a little video on your phone?
Yeah, sure.
And send it to me?
Yeah, sure.
Our last stop with Hussain was at Jahazi Island, right at the southern tip of the reserve. He monitors egg laying by turtles here. On the way, we saw another side of Hussain, who'd come across as a genial guy till now, his tough self. Hussain swiftly intercepted a boat to check its legal status. Illegal fishing in the no-fishing zones of the reserve is a menace that has to be kept in check regularly.
अगले बार हम लोग समुद्र में मिलेगा सीधा टांट के ले जाएगा जेल के अंदर। आप लोग यहाँ का है इसलिए अच्छा से प्यार से बोलता। ये जो नेशनल पार्क है ना, ये जो आइलैंड से भी 1 किलोमीटर है। आप लोग अंदर आ गए हैं, अब यहाँ नहीं करना, यहाँ करना कानूनन जुर्म है, नॉन बेलेबल ऑफेंस है, यानी आपका बेल भी नहीं होगा, सीधे जेल के अंदर।
It was January, time for the turtles to climb onto the islands and lay their eggs. This marine reserve sees 4 species of sea turtles come in: olive ridley, the green, hawksbill, and the giant leatherback. The island was uninhabited. As the sun dipped, our anticipation rose. The likely time for the turtles to come was after 10 p.m.
आज रात का हमारा खाना बन गया, ये तरकारी तैयार हो रहा है।
ये तो है।
तो यहाँ पे रेगुलर मतलब ऑलमोस्ट सारे टर्टल विजिट करते हैं। मोस्टली द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट लेदर बैग क्योंकि बहुत रेयर और सबसे बड़ा टर्टल है। तो इसका
बड़ा मतलब कितना बड़ा होगा?
मारुति कार के उतना बड़ा भी हो सकती है।
Hussain first scanned the beach for turtle flipper marks for a few hours. We suddenly caught sight of a hawksbill. And what was she doing dancing there in the sand? She was burying her eggs deep down, Hussain explained. No leatherback, but it was impressive even without one. It turned 2 a.m. We waited, and then we saw a shape in the moonlight that seemed really big. A giant leatherback. For the next 2 hours, we were lucky to have a ringside view, silently aware that we were witnessing a very rare sight.
ये इसलिए हमारा कितना कनेक्शन कि हमको उनकी तकलीफ बहुत नज़दीक से देखें। बीच तक पहुंचने में भी काफ़ी स्पीड बोट्स, वो ट्रॉलर, इस सब से निकल के वो आ रहा है, उसके बाद वो एगलाइंग करता है। उतने स्ट्रगल के बाद बीच पे आता है, उसको प्रोटेक्ट नहीं कर पाए तो हमारा बहुत बड़ा फेलियर होगा।
These eggs are now protected. But turtles come back to lay their eggs in the same nesting site where they were born. What if these sites are destroyed? Where will they go? There is news that a few islands in the Andaman and Nicobar are to be developed by international tourism companies as high-end holiday destinations. In this fragile ecosystem, that may be a delicate decision. As Hussain pointed out, if we can't protect what's gifted to us, then it's a huge failure.
Hussain has opened up a world for me which isn't just stunning, but hugely critical even to our own survival. And that very survival is dependent on the versatility of people like him, who play a key role in keeping this ecosystem alive. And as visitors, surely we have the responsibility of looking beyond the scenery and truly understanding the value of this place.